this is a lot of dead space. Hello and welcome to Sasha and Goff Live recorded.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff, and this is our first take, so this is going well. Welcome to the show. This week we're going to be doing our top 3 TV cartoon rivalries. Could be comic as well, because I do have a comic book one. How do you think about this?
Movies as well.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling, sports. Can we do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
I didn't do that. So.
I didn't do that either, actually.
All right,
so
TV,
let's just say we can't do that.
TV, movie, cartoon, rivalries. Not looking forward to how I'm going to fit that all on the thumbnail, but it's okay. We'll figure it out, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, the thumbnails have been great, by the way. I see you've moved mostly just into AI now. Which, how does that even work, to be honest? You literally just type it, like, our pictures and then just type in need a TV show or
look, I'd love to tell you, but then it takes away the only skill that I currently have.
We don't need to talk about this. No one cares anyway.
Yeah.
How does AI work?
I will say you're doing a great job on the Instagram. I think one of our reels hit like 1,500 views, which is insane.
Nice. Yeah.
Great work. Now that we've complimented each other, let's start the show.
All right, well, first of all, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's December.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Thanksgiving has come and gone.
For October, for me, took so goddamn long. I don't know why. And then November, it took like 2 weeks to get through. And we talked about it on last week's episode. It's the most stressful time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we had my daughter's birthday party last week. And on top of Thanksgiving, on top of Christmas, Joni and my birthdays are both, hers is in December, mine's in January, so those are right there. New Year's Eve isn't really anything. We don't really do much anyway. But, yeah, so how about you? This has got to be a rough time, busy time.
Busy. Now that Thanksgiving went smoothly and nothing crazy happened that I remember to tell this week, now that is over... Just looking forward to December. I think we should talk about it a little bit here today. That, we're in December, so it's Christmas time. It's stressful. It's all this stuff that's going on. How are you with, let's say, Christmas shopping? Do you shop online? Do you shop at a mall? Do you? What do you do? What does that look like for you getting gifts for your family?
Mostly eBay, which is nice.
Okay.
I use a lot of the money I make on eBay and just kind of flip it,
okay.
literally, and just buy gifts there, which is great because they don't come from Amazon's, and Joni and I share an account, so I don't have to worry about her seeing And then, as far as actual shopping, the only... come to think, gift cards, I guess. And then my family, Joni's family, we do this game every year. We call it's like, I don't know what the name for it is, but it's like you just take a bunch of gift cards and you wrap them in, you just keep going with saran wrap, literally wrapping it around until it's a ball about the size of a football. And you start off this game, the person in front of you has a pair of dice. So right when you start the game, you start unwrapping this thing. They're throwing dice down. If they get doubles, like, snake eyes or 2 6s or whatever, then you stop and you pass it to the next person. So you're doing this, but every gift card that, drops while you're doing it, you get to keep.
You get to keep. Okay, I like that. That's like a tradition.
Yeah, we started it probably 4 or 5 years ago. Everyone, at Thanksgiving, everyone will throw in a certain amount of money, and then, so I use that to get the gift cards. And
okay.
Yeah, so, I'll usually put, a big one in the middle, a $50 one. But then other times I'll just put $10 in cash. And sometimes it's little pieces of candy, just to kind of... Because it's hard to use gift cards, which are flat, obviously, to try to wrap something enough times to make a football-sized thing.
That's interesting. What other traditions do you guys have Christmas? Are there other traditions? Anything that you do? Because that seems to be... I've never heard of anybody doing this in my life.
Well, that's
kind of cool.
Yeah, we do that. It's Christmas Eve.
Can I join? I'd love to be part of it.
Yeah, we could always use more guests.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as tradition, we do, just early Christmas morning. My family was always ripping shit open, and we were done with gifts in 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Joni's family, this was a day-long thing. They would start off in the morning, then they would have breakfast, and which would just with my impatience, like I talked about last week, would drive me nuts. So we try to do this with our kids now, but they're more just like me.
Get it done.
Where it's like, yeah, they just.
It's funny
even if they love the gift they just had, it's like you still want to open more. You just put it down.
Even like when my family does celebrate Christmas, like Serbian Christmas is different than American Christmas. But when I was younger, we would celebrate American Christmas so I wouldn't feel like a weirdo when I went to school. Like everybody's celebrating, and I'm like, no, we're on the old calendar. It's 2 weeks later. You idiots.
Idiots.
So like when we would celebrate Christmas, it was just me, right? I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be super quick. And I didn't get my parents anything. Or if I did, it was like you made something at school or whatever. And now, like, still have a small family. But, yeah, Megan's family, like, they take their time. Breakfast, like you said, or lunch is made. There's music in the background. Everybody opens one gift at a time, and you go around in a circle. It's nice. It's very nice, but I think Christmas is more for kids, so it's like we don't have kids in our family, so it's like adults.
So that's funny you say that because my mother-in-law, she does my father-in-law too, actually. I guess all my parents, all of my mother, father, whatever, the thing where it's like they have all of a sudden now 5 gifts in front of them because they're still just watching everyone else, and it's like we're done. It's like, and then you got to watch them open theirs, but
so we do the thing where you go in a circle, and then like Megan's mom has nothing left, and we still have like bags of stuff because she gets all kinds of different things and whatever, and so you feel bad. And like we also did the thing started a couple years ago where like we make Amazon lists now, so we're not just guessing what people want, we're giving them what they have chosen already. So then you have to be like, oh yeah, thank you. I mean, you're obviously thankful.
Oh yeah, well that's Joni. We were talking about it yesterday. She's just like but I just feel like I'm not being like original and I'm not being thoughtful. It's like you're giving me exactly what I'm asking for.
Yeah,
so that's
perfect. There's like a balance. That's
perfect,
right? It's
when you get me a T-shirt that I didn't want, that's when it's just like, what the
I've always just wanted to do like spend less money than we do because it's almost out of control. Yeah. I mean, and it's kindness, so it's like hard to complain about kindness, but I'm like, let's put a limit on this stuff, and it looks like everybody's kind of agreeing like to start going that way, so I've infiltrated my way. Do you guys do any sort of like dinner Christmas Eve or day of or anything?
We do Christmas dinner by Joni's parents. We used to actually, when I was growing up, we had with my mom's half, that was like tradition no matter what. It's like Christmas Eve, we're always going to do that. Now with my dad's, it was like, it would stagger. It was, sometime close to there. So since my family, as we've gotten older, we don't do that as much anymore. It's like, there might be a Christmas party like somewhere down the road, but New Year's Eve, we go by Joni's parents, and then Christmas Day, the last few years actually, we've been going by my parents on that day and just spending a few hours over there.
What about your own house decorations and all that stuff? Do you guys do a lot of decorations outside? Do you do stuff inside?
We actually have one of those Santa Claus like things that you see at like Home Depot. The ones not the inflatable ones, but it's like wire pieces put together with lights in them and stuff. Okay. So we do have a Santa Claus one of those. I did one of the small trees. We have a really little like Christmas shaped tree in our yard. So right now, just because it's still Thanksgiving and we usually wait till after, there's one little one that's got lights on it because it looks like a Christmas tree.
It is after.
Yes.
Thanksgiving. Yes. Anyway, so like we don't do a lot of decoration stuff. We do some, but like, here's the thing. This time of year, along with all of the holiday spirit that you're supposed to have, it gets dark earlier. Yeah, it gets cold.
It's depressing.
I don't believe in seasonal depression or anxiety or any sort of things that doctors say, unless RFK Jr. tells me that it's true.
There you go.
But yeah, I definitely like suffer from something because I always get down this time of year. So a couple of years ago, I started realizing what a mope I am, and so I'm trying to work on that around this time of year. So every year I go, all right, I'm gonna have a good year. I'm not gonna do it. 2 years ago I did great. Last year I feel like I did great. Megan might have a little bit of disagreement with that, but so this year we're gonna be jolly. This year we're gonna be goddamn jolly.
Jeez.
Or else.
Whoa.
And so I'm trying my hardest to be like, okay. When Megan says we're gonna get new decorations for outside, let's do this.
All right.
Of course, I asked questions. Like, she wanted to get one of those projectors. And the way that my house is shaped, it might look a little bit weird. So I brought that up immediately. And she's like, why do you have to bring the jolliness level down? And I'm like, I'm not. But these are my questions. Because I'm not excited about any of this stuff. I'm not happy to put stuff up.
You're just being content.
I don't even know if that's the correct word. Like, I wouldn't do this ever, probably, if it were up to me. Yeah. But I know she likes it. And so I'm in, right? Like, I don't have to like it. I just have to put a smile and whatever. And like today she sent me she's looking for Christmas sweaters for us to wear.
Okay.
I don't want a Christmas sweater, but I don't care.
Yeah.
But then she sends a message saying like, what do you think about this Christmas sweater? And so now I don't know how to react to this because
it's like, yeah, for you or for us?
Well, it's both. It's for us.
Okay.
But it's like, I don't care. I'm going to wear whatever you want. So then she sent me a picture of reindeer clothing, like to dress as a reindeer.
Oh, jeez.
She's like, me, you, and Callie could dress as a reindeer. Like, what do you think? And I'm like, all I sent back was the word jolly, because it was a text.
Yeah.
And then she hearted it, which means
this is happening.
Right? So I'm like, look, I don't care. Don't ask my real feelings about this, because I'll tell you my real feelings.
Yeah.
And they're not jolly feelings. Like, I don't want to dress as a reindeer. I don't understand it. But at the same time, you want to. I want to do what makes you happy. You're my wife.
Guy.
I love you very much. Don't kick me out. Kick Goff out of the house.
Right.
And so I'm all about bringing the jolly, but I always get caught in that trap of, like, my real feelings coming out. And so then my other thought is, like, okay, for me, you, and Callie, we're going to be dressed as reindeer. For when?
I was just going to ask that. Is it like for a picture? Or
no, it's not for a picture. And we can't take Callie to her mom's house on Christmas because Callie will attack people. So, like, I don't know. The three of us are just going to be sitting downstairs dressed as elk or reindeer or whatever.
You're watching, like, America's Funniest Home Videos on Christmas Eve. Just like...
Which, whatever. I'm in. I thought it was weird. I guess that could lead us to... If we do Christmas cards, we could do a Sasha and Goff Christmas card.
I was talking to Joni about our family ones because we haven't done it in a few years. Because I already in my mind, it's like, you guys sent one of the best ones ever with just like the I think it was with Callie, but either way, just like the terrible Christmas sweaters, and then just you guys not emoting at all.
Oh yeah.
It was fantastic. That's probably like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, we used to send them out. If not every year, every like couple years or whatever, and then we've just been lazy and stopped. I guess now could be a time that we do it, but now he's saying the Sasha and Goff one. It would be funny to do a Christmas card of me, Megan, and Callie dressed as reindeer, and then we like superimpose you in the back. I got to think about that, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm just trying. I want to be jolly. and I want to like Christmas cheer is here. I do like the family stuff. I do like everything that comes along with it, but like it's not something I grew up with. I don't get excited for Christmas time and whatever.
That's because I asked you many episodes ago, which was the most uncomfortable you've ever been in your life, when I was trying to ask about like you growing up as a single child, versus me with having 3 siblings, and how like things like that, like Christmas. So, but did you for the most part like always get what you asked for?
I would
have an only child.
I had a Christmas list.
Yeah.
Right. So I would put NBA jerseys, and I would put my top 5 NBA jerseys. It was basically this podcast in 1993 or whatever. I would write which basketball jerseys I want. I would write which toys I want. I would write which video games I want.
My biggest fears. I would write.
Yeah. And then, my parents would have the list, and they wouldn't give me everything on the list, but they would know where to choose. Oh, I went to this store. They didn't have this, but they had this. I'm happy. My parents did a great job. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't mean to say anything negative about that. And we did celebrate American Christmas so that I wouldn't be awkward, which is like a crazy thing. I mean, like a good thing to do for your kids, right? Like, they always, it's not like I had bad Christmases growing up. It's just, there was no excitement around it. My parents are like, it was
just another gig.
It's Christmas.
Another day getting free shit.
And then Serbian Christmas was like, you go to church the day before, And then, like, the day of, my dad would get me, like, a sack of walnuts or whatever.
Sweet.
And I appreciate it. I enjoy walnuts.
I love when you say a sack, like, which implies you have to, like, throw it over the shoulder.
That's like a good unit of measure for walnuts or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, and, like, I don't know. I lack a lot of emotion in everything. I think it's a problem. I think it would be great. So it's just I try to bring it out for Megan and for like Christmas time and all this stuff. But yeah, then I'm asked to dress as an elk, and then I'm like, I don't know, whatever.
I love it though. You guys better send pictures. I was talking.
She may be
Joni.
kicking me out of the house after that segment, that 10-minute rant on jolliness.
She's hearing how you really feel.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I have ideas. Maybe I won't say it here just in case we actually do it, so it's not spoiled for anyone.
Okay.
But speaking of holidays, real quick, actually, just because. Thanksgiving just passed and then Halloween just passed the other day. And this is like, I'm totally changing the subject here. I just have a quick question for you. Maybe not quick. We'll talk about this. But so I was at a stoplight and I was right next to some apartments. I looked over and one of them had a Freddy Krueger like window cling, like a huge one.
I'm out. Yeah.
All right. So I'm thinking in my head, I come by here like almost every day. I've never seen this thing. Have I just not been paying attention, or did they just put it up for Thanksgiving? Like, because it's Freddy Krueger and there's like blood on like all over it and everything. So I don't know if you've ever seen any of those movies. The whole thing with Freddy Krueger is that he kills people in their dreams. That's how he attacks them.
Okay. Do
you dream a lot? I was thinking because like I think I'm a soulless person. And I was talking to my brother. Do you dream? Do you have dreams, my friend?
Do you have a dream journal?
Yeah. But no, I honestly, I don't think I have thoughts when I'm sleeping. I'm just like dead inside.
Well, do you like sleep well though?
I mean, I get the required amount I need, which is like 6, but yeah, I'll usually wake up at least once in between. So I don't know if it's good sleep, but
I dream. I do dream. I have like recurring dreams that I've had since I was a kid that are like weird.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I do, and sometimes I remember them, sometimes I don't. I'm not like a keep track of your dreams person.
Yeah. I just, again, I thought of that, and then, yeah, my brother and I just happened to be talking about it. Maybe he was telling me about a dream he had, and I'm like, first of all, how do you even remember that? Like, the second I wake up, I might just be like, oh, shit. Though, actually, if you want to call it a dream, the closest thing I have to that is the one where you're in between waking up and sleeping and you don't know if you should actually just wake up. Do you ever have that?
No.
Where your mind is like kind of telling you, it's just like, get up, open your eyes, wake up. And it's like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I get those feelings sometimes.
I have teeth falling out dreams, which are bad.
Wow.
I have dreams where you're jumping, but it's like you're floating.
Okay.
So like I'll jump and I'll be able to like dunk. I'm like still going up and whatever. And it's very slow motion. I don't know what those mean. All these are going to be like, you're gay.
Yeah. No, my recurring one would be me trying to knock a horse over. Like trying to like put weight into it, but having, granted it'd be tough to knock a horse over anyway.
Overcoming an obstacle that you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Something
Maybe
like
it's
that.
being a good podcaster.
See,
just can't get there.
Hey, I know the feeling.
We'll get there someday.
I have one that's like, and I've had this since I was a child. I go to a mall, and I'm going to an escalator, and then there's a little bin of 99-cent socks, of which I take one. And as I go up the escalator basically stops, and walls come down, and then it's just me and the ghost of the Big Boss Man. Do you know the Big Boss Man?
Of course.
Okay, so he was alive when I had these dreams, but it's basically the upper half of his body and then the lower half of a ghost, like Casper.
Gotcha.
You know, like cartoon ghost. Yeah. And it's not, he doesn't scare me or anything, and I just sit there, and then I wake up because the dream is like, I've had it so many times that like I'm just like, oh,
that is
I'm
insane.
Sleeping. Yeah.
Like literally that one.
Literally
with the
that
Big Boss
exact
Man
dream.
every time.
I've had that since
from
I
Cobb
was
County, Georgia.
Since I knew who Big Boss Man was, I've had that dream. So if you could tell me how to connect 99-cent socks with the ghost of Big Boss Man, I mean, there's definitely ways you can, but
it's like 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. So send your ideas for that one. Leave the YouTube comments of what my dreams mean and what Goff's horse dream means.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of animals, real quick, one more quick question.
Okay.
If you could... All right, so you know what? I have to kind of be more specific on this one. If you could communicate with animals, all animals, would you want that ability?
So, like, is it better to not have that ability?
Well, the only reason I'm asking, because, so there's this movie Encanto. It's a Disney movie, one of the newer ones. It's like a family that all has superpowers, but there's like almost like a curse kind of. With how great everyone is, there's also something that sucks about it. The one kid can communicate with animals, but he's always got to hear them. So it's like if you went outside every day and had to hear every single bird what they were actually saying.
Yeah.
Because we've learned how to block out sounds. We block like cicada noises. If I had to hear every single, hey, did you see the Bears last night?
And honestly, not even just about the noise of it, but just the fact that I don't want to see a bird that's like a Holocaust denier or whatever.
Yeah, racist birds.
Yeah,
like that.
I love animals, and I just want them to be what they are. They're like kind, beautiful things.
You don't want to see one that's just like, I would eat you right now if you were dead.
And I don't need like political opinions from a hippopotamus or whatever. That's a good point.
And then do you talk to Callie?
Oh, all
like
the time.
Okay, like I have a weird thing where I will respond in Lucy's voice, like if I feel like talking to myself, and like I have a voice in my head of what.
These last two episodes,
like, yes.
I have started thinking you're a little bit crazier.
I thought you were going to say like a little bit high right now.
No,
it's like, I actually wrote that on my notes. It's like, you're probably going to think I'm on something, but no, because, and I have like a voice for Lucy in my head, and it's like, this is exactly what she sounds like. However, it's the same voice all of my animals have.
See, I do different voices. I go, what if Callie talked like this? And then one day it'll be like, insert any kind of language that I could put that would be offensive if I did it right now.
Okay.
Like I do that as Callie, right? So if she was like whatever, insert thing here. I do that all the time, and I'm like, I ask Megan, and then she laughs, and then we go, man, can't say that out in public.
I think the only benefit of actually like having your animal speak to you is just like, my leg hurts, instead of so you're just like, all right, good, because that's what. I'll just look at my dog sometimes, and it's like...
But what if your dog had a voice that you didn't respect?
Yeah, it's like, my arm hurts!
Yeah, right? You, love your dog less. Because...
God. We're going to just take your voice box out, hon.
Yeah, I think we should definitely not hear dog... any sort of animal voices. It's just for the better of humanity.
That's the only thing. It would just like, if maybe once a month you press a button and it's like they have 15 seconds. It's like, go. And it's like, okay, I hate this food. I hate it when you pet me here, and my leg hurts.
Your podcast sucks. Why do you lock me in this room over here?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be Callie, of course. But
all right,
cool. Anything else you on your end over here? Because I got one little question for you.
All right,
we got time for it.
We got time. Whatever.
This is one little question, and it's about bathroom etiquette. Now, nothing has happened. I'm not blaming you, but I am wondering if something happens. If you're at a family event or a party or whatever, and you go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, thing overflows. Who takes care of this situation?
If there's a plunger there, I will do everything in my power to take care of this situation.
What if it gets to the point where it overflows onto the floor in a manner that you have to tell other people? It's not stopping, and you're like, we need to shut the water off.
It's a tough situation, because it's like, do you know it was from you, or because if you didn't do much and you can tell right when you flush that, it's like, but no one's gonna believe you, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
I'm just wondering to protect myself from the future, because you're the only one who uses our downstairs bathroom.
Oh man! So
if something were to happen, I want to know: do I have to clean up your?
No, I will clean up after myself.
Okay, that's all this segment was about.
All right, cool.
All right, that's it.
All right, well then I guess we'll just we'll talk about what we're putting inside ourselves. I was trying to think of a new name for this, even though I think that's pretty much just what we call it now. What we're putting in inside us. Actually,
I'd love it if we called it something else. I just don't know what to call it.
I put out the abbreviation for it now that I'm reading it. I'm not even going to say it because it just sounds stupid. So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Say it.
Well, Wapio would be what it would. I don't know. That just sounds racist, or it sounds bad for some reason.
It does sound racist, and
Wapio.
I kind of like it.
We'll do it. Okay, that's the segment name. All right, so I got another one. This is one that I've been hearing really good things about, and I tried it out for myself, and I don't really like it. And it's only murders in the building. with Steve Martin
okay.
and Martin Short and Selena Gomez. I love Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez, I don't have really any opinion on, except kind of after watching 2 episodes. I don't really like her in this show, at least.
Okay.
And I don't know. Like, I texted my younger sister, Jessica, and I was like, hey, like, are you familiar with Selena Gomez as an actor? Like, what is she like? And my sister does watch the show, and she said the same thing. It's like she can be an unlikable character because, like, she's typecast where pretty much every role she's in, she's like the cool chick. So she's always got like sassy things to say.
I was gonna say, is she like the goody two shoes?
No. She's like the bad bitch kind of.
Oh, okay.
So you got Steve Martin and Martin Short, of course, obviously, who have. Just when I saw these two in a show together, it was like, that's intriguing right there.
Yeah.
And I've heard good things about this, but it just, I don't know. I love true crime. That's kind of what the show is about. It's about these 3 people who live in this same building. They decide to make a podcast called Only Murders in the Building, and because they're investigating something that happens in the first episode. So it's like up my alley, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it after a couple episodes, so
Yeah, it's I love Steve Martin and Martin Short too, and I haven't even considered giving this a shot just because of like the type of show that it. I mean, like, it's a horrible way to live, is to not even give people opportunities to like win you over.
No, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, it's just if it's not interesting, it's like. And that's the thing with this show. I wasn't particularly interested, but it was like, I'm looking for something new, and I've heard a couple people say this is good, and it's on like its 3rd or 4th season, so people are watching. But yeah, just after a couple episodes, not feeling it.
I think Martin Short might be the funniest person of our lifetime.
Like, have you seen the movie Clifford?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a Goff family, not like the family I've created, the one that I was from.
Oh, okay.
My family, like, we have like a few of those movies, like Office Space is one of them too, but everyone loves it. And yes, Martin Short.
I'm gonna watch it now, like this week,
dude,
next week, because I haven't watched it in a long time.
You'll still laugh your ass off. It still holds up. Anyone, if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a movie called Clifford. It's not about the big red dog, but you notice though he wears a red suit, and that was planned apparently. But yeah, he plays a 10-year-old kid.
I did not like him when I was a child. I was like, this guy's obnoxious.
Okay.
And the older I get, the more I'm like amazed at his humor. And anytime he was ever doing like panel on like Conan or like Fallon or any of those type of thing, where he's just insulting people, or when it's him and Steve Martin and they're going back and forth, to me, they're the funniest like roast jokes of all time.
I don't know much of that stuff.
Oh, he's incredible. He's like he'll be on Conan and he'll be like, Conan, you are my absolute favorite talk show host. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. And he's like, favorite not named Jimmy. It's like little shots or whatever, but it's just
backhanded
over and over and over to the point where the person's like,
he's great in Arrested Development too.
Oh yeah,
that show as like the Jack LaLanne kind of wannabe.
Oh,
so good. To the nuts, the fridge mix, so good. All right, so and then the other thing, a horror movie. You'll love this one. Smile 2. This is a sequel, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So did you see the first Smile?
Did not see the first one. Did not know anything about its existence, and then I saw that as like advertising, they've just been putting people at like baseball games who smile in the background. And
that was for the first one. I don't know if they did it for this one too.
Oh, I only know that they did it recently.
Okay,
so I'm assuming that
they carried that over.
Yeah.
So it's similar to The Ring for people who do know horror movies, where there's just like an entity and it kind of lasts like about a week. I'm not going to spoil anything about this movie. I did think it was better than the first one. Very violent, very gory at times. And my only problem, which is my biggest problem with most movies these days, too fucking long. 2 hours and 9 minutes. It's just ridiculous. You could literally shave 30 minutes off of this movie and it would be just as good. This movie's not great, but it is better than the first one, I thought. Or at least I enjoyed it more than the first one. So Smile 2, I give it a light recommend.
All right. That's all you got?
That's what I got.
I got 2 things for you this week, pretty quick. First and foremost, another comedy special. I've been watching a lot of them lately. This one is by Adrian Iapolucci. I don't know if I said the name correctly.
I've never heard that guy.
Her has
that guy or girl.
A Netflix special called Dark Queen. A lot of dark jokes. She is an opener basically for Ari Shaffir and Louis C.K.
Okay.
And so she is of the mold of like controversy's cool. It's not even controversy. It's not like to be controversial. It's just she has dark opinion. It's just she's saying like what she thinks, and they're very dark jokes, and they're very good jokes is the thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff on like Israel, Palestine, school shootings, abortion, all the touchy topics or whatever. But they're not just like meh, like to say
they're
them or whatever.
Or
they're incredibly thoughtful. They're like great joke writing jokes. So if you like jokes and you like dark stuff, I definitely I watched it. I thought it was excellent. She has a certain like, it's almost like she's talking, and the way that she talks is kind of, and so like it's a little bit of a, I don't know,
a shtick.
It's not a shtick. It's like it just feels like someone is talking to you and telling you how they feel about everything.
Okay,
but she doesn't really like.
So it's like almost like a conversation, but told in the form of like stand-up comedian or comedy. Like
a conversation on one side. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just she has a very interesting way of presenting her dark topics. So I don't know. I like the special. I think if you like dark humor,
is this YouTube as well.
Netflix, yeah. Okay. And it was produced by Louis C.K. So they were kind of like worried about it because he's got his own things. And like I said, so she's an opener for Ari Shaffir, who's also dark and
you know what though? Let me tell you, Mike Tyson's not the best guy in the world either, and like half the world just watched him do a boxing match. So
yeah, and O.J. Simpson,
greatest entertainer of our time.
So, and then the only other thing I have for you is going to be our, say it with me, ska band of the month. Ska band of the month. It's a band from Milwaukee called Something to Do. Specifically this song.
There's still new ska bands, huh?
There's, I wrote it down, fourth wave. I think it's past the fourth wave. I think we're on like the fifth or sixth wave at this point. There's a lot of like really good ska bands right now. I can go into a rabbit hole.
I was listening
Spotify.
to Catch 22 this week actually, and I was gonna send you like Alone in a Crowd, which I think is like one of my favorite ska albums. Yeah,
I was listening to Keysby Nights recently because I think we were talking about it, and I was like, let me throw this on.
I was humming it. I remember last time I was here. That's probably what it was.
So this band called Something to Do. The song in particular I was listening to was called Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls. But anyway, they're from Milwaukee, and they're actually playing in Chicago. They're opening for Mustard Plug on December 28th at the Bottom Lounge. They're very Spring Heel Jack-ish.
Okay, I like that.
And I'm a big Spring Heel Jack guy. And there's a lot of good bands that have like incredible horns right now. Yeah. And the horns make the ska band, right? The guitar it is what it is. You can see a lot of people are influenced by Streetlight Manifesto and Catch 22 and that kind of stuff. There's just this younger generation. There's a band called Flying Raccoon Suit. 2-for-1 special on Ska Band of the Month.
Damn.
But they are fantastic, female-led, but the horns are just tremendous. And it's just like, it's fun to listen to good ska. So
speaking of that,
I'm 42 and I listen to ska. So good.
The new Less Than Jake just came out, and we're not really talking about that.
It's not that good. I listened to the whole thing when it came out.
I listened to just like the EP or the songs they put out, like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I feel bad not having. It's already
only like
right
7.
now. I think talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to listen to that. But my brother was just kind of like, it literally sounds like just like kind of one song just bleeds into the next, and it's like there's nothing exciting about the horn work. Horn work. That's a new word.
Not that it's bad. It's not bad. It's just an extension of stuff they've already done. Like it's a reason why I don't get excited to listen to Rise Against or The Offspring that we've talked about before. It's like what I'm expecting is to not be blown away, but it'll be good. Yeah, and that's what it is.
So that title you just talked about, the title "Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls," is that from Titanic? Is that what she tells?
Oh, good call.
I'm thinking it's like, because I know you're the biggest Titanic fan in the room.
Wow, I did not even realize that.
I just thought of that right now, but I know because she says something like that, so that might be what it is.
Wow, I love this band even more.
There you go. Big Titanic fan.
Something to do if you're not doing anything. December 28th. I'm not talking to you directly. No. I'm just saying in general.
You already invited me to a show last week, man. You're putting too much on my plate.
I'll be at the Bottom Lounge. I'm going to so many shows.
I'm sweating right now.
I am going to so many shows from here on out because you got to distract yourself. From
you talked about that a couple weeks ago. Good for you.
We'll see. I'm not a go-getter, though. So it takes one extra step, But yeah, that's all I have this week.
All right, well then I guess we are going to move into our top 3 this week. It is TV rivalry, TV, cartoon, movie, whatever you want to do. We're just talking famous rivalries.
So many of these, and you could also go like serious or funny or whatever. So the spectrum is wide open.
Yes.
I have a feeling we're going to stick to our niche. Nachos.
Niche, I believe it's called. But I've got a lot of potent notables. I love this category. I'm happy for this one. So you want to start off or you want me to?
I can start off.
Right.
Mine is, it's a little bit, I don't want to say generic, but it is from a huge hit show.
Tom and Jerry?
No, that is a potent notable I have. It's from The Office. And it is, I just love it. It is not... Jim and Dwight. It is Michael and Toby.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I think that the way that they treat each other, and more specifically the way Michael treats Toby in that one, is some of the funniest stuff. Just consistently wanting him to leave, like it's like Megan and you.
Yeah,
and
I feel Toby. Like because you have, I have to throw it in. Like on Parks and Rec, you have the character Jerry, who's essentially the punching bag. On Superstore, there was Sandra. I feel like The Office was one of the ones that got this kind of going with these episodes. The one guy that is just going to get shit on by everyone. Yeah. And it's like, we're going to feel bad for him, but we're still going to laugh because it's amazing.
And I guess technically it might not be considered a rivalry because Toby rarely hits back.
Very rarely.
But I do think I think it's so good that I don't want to use The Office, right? It's The Office, right? But I don't want to use it because it's just like it's the popular show. We all know what it is. But this one to me is so good that I had to list it at my number 3.
All right. Well, I'll stick with The Office because I think Jim and Dwight is one of the funniest. Yeah. I know it's cliche, but I mean, all of those cold opens and the pranks are just, they're classic. So yeah, I'll just get that one out of the way. Okay. Like that is without a doubt one of my favorite rivalries because it's very one-sided with Jim obviously being more playful and Dwight just having hateful thoughts, like whenever it's like on him. But just, I don't know. I love it.
I would think that like both of these would be on my list. If not top 3, let's say top 5. But I picked the one that I like more. Okay. So that's why Michael made the
that's a good one.
Because his the way he is mean to Toby is phenomenal.
It is. It's one of those things you watch the show and it's like, how do they get away with it? But you think of it like in a business aspect, it's like they're doing really well at this paper company. It's like that's why Michael, I think, gets away with so much. So, all right. So, my 3 quickly was just Jim and Dwight.
My number 2 is we go older, but we go, you probably saw this coming. Al Bundy and Marcy Darcy. I mean, it was another one that was just phenomenal. Yeah. And in this one, it did go both ways. Marcy would hit Al with some, and then Al would hit some right back. And it was always good. It was never like a dull moment, and it never swayed. It was just...
Well, it was great, too, because he got along with Jefferson really well. Yeah. And Jefferson was just such a pushover, and it's like, who was the first guy? Steve? Was that his name?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was on my list. I'll push it over to potent notables, though. This is a Parks and Rec one. It's just Eagleton versus Pawnee. The whole one of the big jokes. Okay. It's almost like Springfield and Shelbyville on The Simpsons, how these two towns just like hate each other for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So on Parks and Rec, you've got
this... No, that's solid. That's a solid one.
I was gonna put Leslie versus Pawnee because she's always fighting with people, but this one I just love it because it's such a ridiculous rivalry, and they're bordering cities except Eagleton was created on a hot spring, so they have like palm trees and stuff there, and it's so ridiculous. I like how
is your number 1 also Parks and Rec?
No.
Okay, so then I'm gonna bring up. I thought your Parks and Rec one would be Leslie and Jeremy Jam. Yeah,
I thought of that one, but that's a great one. But if you watch, if you watch it enough, like she has so many people she beefs with because she's an annoying character, and
I don't feel like he's in enough of them.
He doesn't come in till season 5. Okay, so there's a lot of time before him. All right, but their rivalry is amazing because he thinks they're like good friends. Yeah. Like he considers Leslie a best friend. But yeah, just this whole thing with like these and there's not a lot of episodes specifically about Eagleton, but they're basically just like the snobby version of Pawnee. Like they broke away from Pawnee, but it's great. It's just a nice running joke in the show.
Speaking of nice running joke, you should do a podcast about Parks and Rec.
I should.
My number one is going to be, once again, I think you know what it is. Would you guess? Or would you guess a show?
If you didn't already say Al Bundy and Marcy, I would have guessed that one. Right now, I have no idea what you're thinking.
All right, then my number one is Doug Heffernan and Arthur Spooner. Yeah. Because it's probably my favorite show of all time, but also the two of them in every episode go back and forth. There's name calling, there's whatever. There's also love because it's his father-in-law, and so there's episodes where he's so mean that his father-in-law leaves and then he goes chases him, because it's also heartwarming at certain times. But most of the time it's a fat joke towards one guy and an old joke towards the other guy or whatever.
Okay.
And to me it's so consistent. But this is my favorite show, and I love Jerry Stiller. Jerry Stiller to me is
he is great.
I mean, I can compliment him in Seinfeld, and I don't like Seinfeld show at all, but he's great in that too. He's just top notch. So for me,
did you say the Seinfeld show?
I don't know.
What's it called? It sounds funny that it's that one Seinfeld show.
Seinfeld, man, I just don't.
I don't know. I stopped by my parents the other day. My brother had it on, and I agree. It's. I don't know. If you are sitting and watching though, I mean, just how it's a show about nothing. People have always said that, But when you see the little just the characters and everything, I'm still gonna say it's not even in my top 20 for shows. But I mean, I do think it's funny.
I definitely laugh at a lot of it. It is a funny show. It's maybe because some of it I don't laugh at, and I think it's too much. I think I could sum up the show in one noise, and it's I think that's the show to me. And it's okay, and that could be for any character, right? I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, so the number one TV rivalry I have, TV, cartoon, whatever, Peter Griffin versus the Chicken.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Seinfeld.
I do have one, though. I do have a Seinfeld versus Newman actually. Yep. Yeah, that's a fun one.
No,
but Peter Griffin and the Chicken is so good because they just catch you out of nowhere most of the time. And then when there's actually episodes where you get the chicken's perspective or someone else, because there was one on the other day and someone else, I think it was Quagmire actually, he comes and he's like, yeah, what the hell? He's like, this chicken just got, because he's all beat to shit too. Yeah. And the fact that those fights are just so insane and choreographed so well.
No, it is great. There's some absolutely incredible writing on that show. I'm trying to watch the last, I don't know, let's say 10 seasons of it because I stopped watching it at a certain point. But if I catch something on TV, I'll keep it on now. Last night, there was a newer episode on, and they were doing the thing where, when Peter falls and he goes, or whatever.
Yeah.
They did it with a native, a person who clicks to talk. Okay. So he was he fell and he was yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this show still got it. Yeah. It was hilarious.
My biggest thing with Family Guy was just when they started, just some of the cutaways were just ridiculous, the Conway Twitty ones.
Yeah.
That's probably the most famous one that
I was
people
thinking
would
about
be that stupid thing when they did that 3-minute long video.
Yeah.
But I'll just jump into my potent notables then. Seinfeld versus
By the way,
Newman.
They also have a podcast, the writers of that show, and when they talk, maybe I talked about it here before, when they talk, you can hear the voices of guys that they do.
I love watching videos like that when Seth MacFarlane will just do a rundown, or any of the Simpsons people, what's his name? Dan Castellaneta, who does Homer.
Oh, I thought you were looking for Bart.
No.
Bart Simpson.
She only does the one voice, right? Yardley Smith.
No clue.
All right, Batman and Joker. That was my comic book
one.
Okay. That's just, even in the movies, just this amazing, completely ridiculous though, and dude, it's with Batman, you gotta fucking kill this guy. You have to kill him. You're not, because the whole, he has a code in the comic books. He doesn't kill. In the movies, it's it's gotten so, there's so many different iterations of it, Ben Affleck's Batman, which was pretty good, but very violent in killing, and, a lot of people were kind of turned off by that, because it's he doesn't kill people, but that's why it becomes such a running joke that it's All he has to do is just kill this guy, and all of this bullshit would go away. It's just constantly putting him in Arkham Asylum, and then Joker getting out, and causing mayhem. And then I got a couple Saved by the Bell ones, which one is just Bayside versus Valley. That one kind of like Pawnee versus Eagleton. And then I have Zach versus Mr. Belding, actually. I know Zach versus Slater would probably be a good
That's what
rivalry.
Made my list.
Yeah. But I think more of just... yes, Zach and Slater is more of a rivalry because they're competing all the time, I feel. Zach versus Mr. Belding is just a smart-ass kid that's just, you know, constantly fucking with the principal.
You got all my potent notables. You've mentioned every single one of them. I guess the only other one I have is Roadrunner and the Coyote, Wile E. Coyote or whatever. But it's not like I watched that.
It's still it's funny too. I mean, what a prick all the time.
All right, so that's it.
Yeah,
we did our top 3.
We did our top 3, man.
Okay, top 3 TV, movie, cartoon rivalries. Tell us what we missed. Let us know what we missed. Just leave a comment on the YouTube or on the Instagram, and let's pick next week's topic.
Let's do it.
All right. Oh my God. I need a larger.
If you survive.
I feel like there's a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's not as flashy as it used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There used to be a lot more
the zhuzh is gone.
Regalness to the bucket.
All right, what do we got here?
No.
Oh, this is kind of fun.
Okay.
All right. Next week we are going to do the top 3 celebrities you'd be nervous to meet.
All right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like that.
All right. Well, that's it. We are in December. This is episode 23.
No, 24.
24?
24, yeah.
And I don't know. I have nothing else clever to say.
Yeah.
So
Bye.
We'll see you next week.